let's talk 2xKO Alpha. So 2xKO team released a tweet, I think it was earlier this week or last week, about the Alpha Lab. And you have to sign up for it now, but then you can sign up for it, but the registration opened on June 26th and it will close after the Alpha Lab begins. And between registration and August 8th, you'll receive a survey with an email inbox, which I got the survey right away, which I want to talk about it. Players who are selected to participate in the Alpha Lab will receive an email invitation that includes information on how to download the game. The first round of invites will go out to Alpha Lab at 1 p.m. Pacific time on August 8th, 2024.
Oh man.
So I'm excited. Yeah. So I definitely want to get into the Alpha Lab. You can play on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation 5. If you're on a Switch, tough luck. Like, I don't know if 2xKO will ever come to Switch. Maybe. It seems like
let's
every
be honest,
game
even
ends
if
up on
it
Switch
does,
eventually.
Yeah, but even if it does, it will not be the way to play the game. That's for sure. If every other fighting game is anything to go off of, the Switch version is usually not worth playing if you want to play the game and have fun. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
But Alpha. Dude, Alpha's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I mean, the Alpha's excited. I'm excited for it. It's going to be August 8th to the 19th. I definitely want to get into it. Even if we don't get into it, apparently they're going to allow people to stream it. So you are allowed to stream. So I'm sure you'll be able to see people playing the Alpha no matter what. But I want to play it myself. What I wanted to say is that you get a survey, and I wish I screenshotted it. I signed up the Brazen Hydra email for the 2xKO Alpha 2, hoping that I'll get the survey again. Because in the survey there was a question that asked, would you be interested in a PvE mode, or how do you feel about like single solo player stories in 2v2 fighters? It was something along those lines. If I get the survey and you're in like the shorts channel, you'll see I've like included it in the video. And this made me think like they're already thinking about some PvE mode style game mode that they're going to include, which I think 2xKO needs. Looking at Legends of Runeterra, like Legends of Runeterra, they're really heavily focused in on the Path of Champions, which I'm going to be honest, that's all I play. I never play PvP mode because I always feel like I don't want to like pay a bunch of money to get a bunch of cards in a digital card game. That just never interested me. Even in Hearthstone, which I used to play, I never played the PvP mode. But the Path of Champions is amazing. That's like a PvE mode within Legends of Runeterra. And same thing with 2xKO. Like, I'd be more interested in the PvE mode than I would the PvP, even though I would play both.
Yeah, I think you're definitely not alone in that. I think, I don't know, dude, outside of shooters, I feel like PvP is really not preferred compared to PvE for the vast majority of people who play video games. That's like, for every fighter I know of, one of the most common complaints I hear about is, oh, there wasn't enough PvE content. Like, there wasn't enough single player stuff to do in this fighting game. Yeah, it's a very, very common complaint amongst the masses. Like, it's really shocking how often people do not actually care to climb the ladder in fighting games. They care about the arcade mode, they care about the campaign, they care about what kind of content they can experience. Like, that's much more important to the vast majority of people who play fighting games. And they're all, you know, on that pretty casual level. I think it's just, like, just the general mainstream. People do not like the idea of, like, a hardcore, like, competitive game. I feel like it pushes away people. And especially in a fighting game, fighting games are very personal. Like MOBAs, I think MOBAs are way more accessible to people because if you lose, you have 4 people to blame. If you're in a fighting game, if you're playing a stick fighter and it's a 1v1 scenario, you are directly fighting this person personally and you lose, that's on you. That,
you have to
like,
hold that L.
I'm dead serious. Yeah, I'm dead serious. That's how it is. I feel like there's a lot more pressure in fighting games. And that's a big reason why. And also just because fighting games have a much bigger learning curve, right? You're a lot more likely to get straight up, like, stomped and have no idea what even happened the whole time in a fighting game compared to, like, I feel like MOBAs in general, like team games, are just a lot easier to get into. Team games are way more friendly when you're starting out. Fighting games have a very hard cutting line when you first start out, especially. So most people will gravitate towards the PvE content. Vast majority. So the idea that 2xKO will start without it would kind of be scary for me. Yeah, I feel like that would not be good for the game at all if they did not have any PvE content.
Yeah, and that's I think that's something what you just said is they say it a lot. Like they've constantly reiterated how much they want 2xKO to be new player friendly. Like they want 2xKO to be a new player can come in and have fun and play with a player who's a veteran. And they basically say you can get into the game very easily. And they were talking about these combos where basically you can press the same button a couple of times and it'll automatically, like an auto combo. But then if you turn that auto combler, I don't know how to, I'm like slurring that word. Auto comboer? It's, I can't, auto comboer. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, auto comboer.
Where'd the L
off.
come from?
Yeah, I don't know. You can turn it off, and then it's like you can do more. Even if it's on, you can still finesse and do like the same stuff that you would be doing normally with it off. But it's kind of a way for new players to make the game more new player friendly. And I feel like every single video where I've seen 2xKO people talking about the game, they talk about, oh, very new player friendly, but with a lot of depth. Like, oh, it comes off as simple, so a new player can jump into it easy, but then it goes very deep. And that's maybe I've never been in like the fighter scene as much as you. I feel like you know more about that genre and that community than I do, but it seems to be a common problem where it's tough to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that sort of like auto combo game has been a very common trend recently. Like Mortal Kombat 1, Dragon Ball Fighters does it, where you can just like mash a single button, your character will do a full combo. I can't even think as far back as like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the really bad Marvel vs. Capcom game. That one also had very strong auto combos that you could perform. I think even Street Fighter 6 straight up has like a baby mode where you can just mash whatever buttons you want, and depending on where your character and the other character is, they'll do certain attacks. You know, like if you're far away and you mash X, your character will do like a freaking Hadouken, compared to if you're up close mashing X, it'll do punches.
Wow, why does everyone know that? Even I know that. Hadouken.
Hadouken's always been a thing. That's like Kamehameha, right? Like everyone just kind of knows it. But like,
yeah.
But yeah, that's been a really common thing lately, and it makes sense. It makes sense because, yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like the fighting game scene is not as big as people like make it out to be, in my opinion. I mean, like, there are always gonna be those big tournaments. You're always gonna have like Evo, where you're gonna see a massive group of people all playing fighting games, right? But that's like the entire genre we're talking about, and it's all culminated in that one like time every year, along with a couple other events. But like, in terms of actually like widespread as a genre, it has never, I feel like, hit the big mainstream. The closest thing I could think of is like Mortal Kombat and maybe Street Fighter. But I feel like Mortal Kombat especially is the only game I can think of where I'll see like random people out of nowhere run Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I will say this though, they have a chance to like bring this genre to the forefront, just like World of Warcraft. I realize that we talked about World of Warcraft a lot, but just like World of Warcraft brought the MMO genre to the public, to the masses, to the casual player. That's, I think, their goal with 2xKO. That's Riot Games' goal, is to bring fighting games to the casual player.
I can see that. I mean, hey, they definitely did it with League, right? That's for sure. I don't think the MOBA genre was nearly as big as it was until League came along. So,
oh heck no.
It's, yeah, Riot definitely has the capability to come into a whole new genre and become a trendsetter. Valorant is also a very good example of that. I mean, like, granted, I think that like competitive type shooter that Valorant was already very big when it came onto the scene, like CS:GO. But yeah, they really know how to come into any genre and stand on their own. So I think they're capable, and we'll see a lot of whether or not this game is going to really go somewhere in the fighting game scene with this alpha, because I think especially with games like this, the alpha is going to have a very big impact on whether or not people buy this game when it drops, right? Like, alpha is not just a place for testing, it's a place where people are gonna look at it and decide if they want to get the game or not immediately. Even though it's called alpha, people are gonna look at the game and judge it off of what it is when it's an alpha.
Yeah, no, it's never an excuse to say it's an alpha. Even though it should be, it's never like, you can't, I feel it's always a cop out to say, oh, but it's alpha. Oh, but it's alpha. At the end of the day, we're gonna look at it and give our opinion.
Yeah, for me, it depends on the NDA, right? Like, if they're saying, hey, if you're testing this game, you're not allowed to talk about it, you're not allowed to stream it, then yeah, I feel like it's not too fair for random people to be judging it, because like they don't even want people talking about it. But in this case, the only people stream it, if only people stream it, that means they're ready to show people the game. Like they're confident in it, that people are gonna see it and they're gonna like it. So I'm pretty sure Riot knows what they're doing in this case as far as the alpha goes. Like they know people are gonna judge the game come August, and we will too. I'm super curious because because we'll see a lot of raw gameplay now. We'll see people's actual opinions on how the game feels, and that's like something that we don't really hear about yet because we've just seen gameplay footage. We don't actually know what the game feels like when you're actually in there hitting those buttons, So I'm
I really hope that we get in
on that. Oh yeah, if we get it, oh my god, dude, I'm about to try every character, push every single button 10 times over, and be like, is this good? Did Riot do a good job here? I'm about to deep dive.
I mean, I'm more excited for this fighting game than I've never been excited for a fighting game or in the fighting genre before. I mean, obviously I'm pretty biased because I love Runeterra. And then I wanted to mention that I did get into the survey, and this is where I was talking about where I saw that they said, where I was like, okay, they're definitely pushing towards some PvE mode, which there's a chance that they don't. There's a chance that it's just the fighter and it's the fighter, like League of Legends is the MOBA and that's it. I hope not. But one of the questions on the survey, it says, I enjoy immersing myself in a different world through a story or a virtual world to explore. That's the question. I wonder, like,
world to explore.
Hey, you know what it made me think of? The Dragon Ball Z like fighter area, like you have that like arena area and you run to the different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Hub world. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hub world. I would love to see like a little hub world in there, and you could run to like the story mode or whatever. Pick your favorite character, or like customize your Vistaya
little
or
avatars,
your human or your
and you like unlock different you unlock new avatars. Like I always liked that in fighters.
Yeah,
it's
and
nice.
Right above that question, it says I want to express my creativity by customizing my character and building things like a city or a farm.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Are we still talking about 2xKO?
This is the survey from 2xKO. This is before. So when you sign up for the alpha, first you sign up. Okay, then they say we're gonna send you a survey that you have to answer. We're gonna send it to your email, which is probably they do it separate to like eliminate the bots, because now they're gonna have to send it to an email.
Yeah, now they actually have to.
And you have to log on and answer a bunch of questions. Like, yeah. But then I'm reading the questions, and so here are all the questions. This is like after when you finish the survey, you can either click end or you can say or asks you, do you want to answer more questions? If you choose to answer more questions, this is where it takes you. And there's ones like
so we start getting the farming stuff. If you want to answer more questions.
You say like how well do these statements describe you when it comes to playing the video game? And it has like does not describe me at all the way to describe me very well. I like to earn or acquire a large collection of characters or items. I enjoy having my skills recognized by other players. I want to be able to show my creativity through my gameplay. I enjoy working with others to achieve things together. I like to challenge myself with goals that are difficult to accomplish. I enjoy coming up with new and different strategies. I want to achieve a high rank or score. And then these were where I was like, oh, what the heck? I want to express my creativity by customizing my character or building things like a city or a farm. And I enjoy immersing myself in a different world through a story or virtual world to explore.
Dude,
there are a couple others.
I know that we are the two most Runeterra MMO brained people in the world right now, but a lot of these questions sound like they're talking about the Runeterra MMO.
A little bit.
Right, I mean, like yourself, like I care about my rank, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's 2xKO. They're talking about 2xKO. Or like really any competitive title that they have right now, which is a lot. Riot. But then you got farming, and you got a virtual world going on, and you got like
I want to connect with other players over a shared experience. Yeah. Another question.
Yeah, grouping up with other players. That's not 2xKO, and you don't have a choice in League, unfortunately for most people. So this. I feel like it has to be talking about the MMO. I don't know what other title they have that, or even upcoming title they have that would relate to that. So, and we know how much they're reconsidering their like core structure for the MMO, right? With how they decided to pull back on what they already had, saying it was too much like the MMOs are already out there. They're clearly thinking a lot about this in terms of how they want to make a satisfying experience for people in this new MMO. So seeing this survey now, as timely as it is, after those statements, I feel like it has to be about the MMO. But then again, I'm very RiotMMO brained, so I could be a little biased when saying that.
It's like when someone says, what do you, don't think of Purple Alpha and still think Purple Alpha, but that's all I see now, right? Because you're just thinking about it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm trying not to relate everything to the Riot MMO, but like, I calls it like I sees it, and I'm seeing the Riot MMO in these questions. One thing I really appreciate though is that if this is about the Riot MMO, one thing I really appreciate is they put a focus on wanting to be recognized by the community for your achievements. That's something that I think is great.
Yeah, that was in there.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because in order to have that feeling of being able to express your achievements to the community, you have to have achievements that not everybody can get. You have to have difficult achievements that will actually show on your character. And that to me is very important for an MMO. Extremely important. So to hear that they're thinking about that, if this is about the right MMO, then that's great. I think that's definitely a step in the right direction, something they should absolutely consider.
Yeah, I'm sure all these specific survey questions, maybe they sprinkled in some RiotMMO questions just to gauge the player base. I mean, supposedly these are for 2x KO, like that's what the alpha survey is for. Maybe they sprinkled some RiotMMO questions in there. But what I'm really thinking with these questions definitely is that we'll have a PvE mode and something to do, maybe like a shared virtual world area, like a hub world, and hopefully you create your character, because it talks about customizing your character. So we'll be able to customize like our Runeterra character, and then have like a hub world where we can go into PvE, PvE, story mode, different game modes like that, which makes me think of like that Dragon Ball Z hub world that there was, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I mean, what's throwing me off a lot, what really threw me off for these being 2x KO questions is the group question that you'd want to group up with other players. When in a fighting game have you ever grouped up with other players? Like, what? Are you going on expeditions with your fellow stick fighting friends? Like, I don't get it.
Because I feel like two people is like a team. You'd call it a team. You wouldn't call it a group.
Yeah, I feel like group has to be more than two people. Like, you're not just like grabbing a friend. This is not like a co-op experience. This is a group experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very different.
So basically what we're saying is that this isn't a 2x KO survey. This is a RiotMMO survey. That's what we're saying, guys.
This is the first ever Riot MMO survey. Yeah. RiotMMO
survey confirmed.
So guys, looks like it's going to be group content. There's going to be farming. We're going to have to talk about that. You're going to be able to build your own cities. That's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to that. Lots of good content coming away for the Riot MMO. Really excited.
Man, I need something. I need something out of this. Like I'm excited for the 2x KO game. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm excited for the alpha.
Yeah, but it's not a Riot MMO.
I'm enjoying.
It's not Runeterra.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Wild Rift. I really am. Like, Wild Rift, the look of it, the feel of it, everything. I love playing Wild Rift on the iPad. I don't know how you play it on a phone. I definitely could never do that, even with a large phone. Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. It looks amazing. I'm enjoying Legends of Runeterra: The Path of Champions. But damn it, I need something that gets me into the world. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that they built up this whole world and there's no real way to immerse ourselves in it outside of stuff that we've already experienced. So, like, especially there's nothing on the horizon, right? Like, I don't think there's... after 2x KO, what do we got? I don't think we have...
I think there's an unannounced, like, turn-based 4X game. Yeah, there's a Project F, which people think might be like Genshin Impact kind of style or something like that. Then there's the turn-based 4X RP. But these are all like, those are not even stuff that people aren't supposed to be aware of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, these are still those
are in the dungeon.
In development. Yeah. We don't have a name for these games yet, so they're probably a ways away, would be my guess. Like, not 2024 at all. So, interesting.
You know what's funny? It was always called Project L. I thought it was gonna stick, like the name was gonna come out, and I was gonna be still thinking Project L. But 2x KO stuck with me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised too. I thought I'd still be calling it Project L, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I still, honestly, I still think 2XKO is a kind of weird name. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, but it is now what I think of, like when I see the game, like that is 2XKO. So they got that far.
The name is definitely simple. You know, it's like 2x because you're 2 players on each team, and KO because that's your goal. 2x KO. Like,
That's the goal.
I get where the name comes from.
In case you get confused, that's why you play the game.
I understand.
That's how
You know, it wasn't like a random letter organizer and you just put a number in front of it because XKO was taken or something. That didn't happen.
But I do
There's
wish
definitely
it was
some
like
intention.
a little more. I do wish it was a little more like Runeterra-y though. You know, like more Runeterra.
They better not
related
waste the
somehow.
name of Runeterra. The Runeterra name needs to stick for.
Can you
Runeterra
imagine?
only.
Can you imagine they use the name Runeterra for a 2D fighter? Jesus Christ.
They better not waste it on anything. I don't want to see it on this turn-based 4X game. I don't want to see it on Project F. I want to see just the name Runeterra needs to be reserved for the RiotMMO and for it to just be called Runeterra.
I agree. It's such a perfect name. Honestly, I'm surprised there are not more MMOs out there where the name is just the world. Like, I just feel like it's a genius idea. Because I don't know why, it just works. It feels like, yeah, like I want to go there. I want to go to a place called Runeterra. That sounds cool. The only other one I could think of is Toontown.